Hello, welcome back. My name is Teacher Ted and we're going to study math for today. Before you answer the exercises below, please make sure to watch this video. And if you don't understand anything, replay this video. Are you ready? Today we're going to learn about 3D shapes. So they have 3 dimensions: length, ความยาว width, ความกว้าง and height, ความสูง. And today we're going to have our first lesson, which is prism. Let's say that again. Prism. P-R-I-S-M. Prism. Okay? So today our focus is all about prism. Let's start with our first prism. And we're going to learn about, before the first prism, the parts of a prism. So here are the 3 parts of a prism. Let's say together, edge, edge. In this picture, this red line here is the edge, okay? The next one is the face. This purple part here is called the face, F-A-C-E, face. And the last one is what we call the vertex, vertex, V-E-R-T-E-X, vertex. So here are the words in Thai. Number 1, we have face. The Thai word for face is this one. Okay? Next, vertex. The Thai word for vertex is this one. And lastly, edge. Let's say that again. Edge. And the Thai word for edge is this one. So if you're now ready, let's start with our first prism. Okay? Our first prism is called cuboid. Cuboid. Okay? So this is a cuboid. Now, I want you to count the vertices, the faces, and the edges. Okay? I want you to count them now. Okay. If you're finished, let's look at the properties of a cuboid. A cuboid has, number 1, 6 rectangular faces. 1, 2, 3, 4, at the back 5, and at the front 6. So it has 6 rectangular faces. Number 2, it has 12 edges. So you can count the edges if you want to. Pause the video so that you can count the edges. And finally, we have 8 vertices. Okay, that was so fast. Now, let's have the cube. Now, I will give you time to count the faces, the edges, and the vertices of a cube. So count now. You can pause this video. If you are finished, let's say the properties of a cube. A cube has 6 identical meaning the same, square faces. So all of the faces of our cube are squares and they are all the same, identical square faces, 6. Okay, now a cube also has 12 edges. So you can count all the edges in our video. You can pause it and you can check if you're correct. And finally, a cube has 8 vertices. So we can count the vertices now. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, at the back 6, 7, and at the front 8. There are 8 vertices. In Thai we say Jut Yot Mu. Okay? Now, let's go to our next prism. We call it triangular prism. Let's say it together. Triangular prism. Triangular prism. Triangular prism. So this is a triangular prism. So you will see that it has 2 faces that are triangles. Okay, so 2 faces that are triangles, and you have 3 faces which are rectangles. So remember, for prisms are always rectangles. So a triangular prism has, as you have counted, 5 faces. In those 5 faces, 2 of them are identical triangular faces. And 3 of them are rectangular faces. Also, a triangular prism has 9 edges. We can count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 edges. So some of them are at the back. They're hidden. But if you have a prism, a triangular prism like a Toblerone chocolate, you can count them. Okay? And finally, we have how many vertices? There are 6. 1, 2, 3, 4 at the back, 5, and at the front, 6. Okay? Now, let's go on to our next prism. We call it the Pentagonal prism. In our Pentagonal prism, from the word Pentagon, haliam, huruf haliam. So you will find 2 pentagons at the front and at the back. So if you can count it, I'm giving you time to count now, okay? So you can pause this video now to count. So if you're ready, let's look at the pentagonal prism properties. A pentagonal prism has, number 1, 2 identical pentagonal faces. So 2 identical pentagonal faces here and at the back there. Pentagons, huruf haliam, okay? And then you have 5 rectangular faces. So all in all, there are 7 faces. And also we have 15 edges. You can count it, okay? In our game later, I'll show you how to rotate and how to make nets, okay? Maybe that's lesson 4. And finally, there are, what's that? 10 vertices. So there are 10 vertices, all right? So now, for the last shape, we will have, okay, hexagonal prism. Let's say that again. Hexagonal prism. Hexagonal prism. So the stress is on the first and second syllables, okay? Now we have this as our hexagonal prism. Hexagon meaning 6 faces or 6 sides. Huruf hokliam. Okay, so we have 2 hexagonal faces at the front and at the back. We call it bases, which are special faces, okay? Also, we have 6 rectangular faces, okay? So you have 2 identical hexagonal faces and 6 rectangular faces, which are identical to each other, okay? I mean, hexagonal faces are identical and rectangular faces are also identical. You have 18 edges, a lot of edges. And finally, you have, what's that? 10 vertices. So we can count the vertices, okay? So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, I think this is 12. I think this is not 10, this is 12. So we'll change that later, okay? That's all. Goodbye.